I would not have made a second video in just one day, but I was stepping off. But there's one thing that which really came to my mind. I think it is important, and I think I should talk about it. And that thing is the placements of engineers. Now, the problem which we are facing today is there are colleges charging shitload of money, approximately 20 lakhs for 4 years. That's bullshit. I paid 2.5 lakhs for my BTech and I have a pretty good return on investment. But anyways, that aside, since these colleges are charging a lot more at the beginning, claiming infrastructure and placement facilities, by the time you reach fourth year, that is when you really see the reality that it is all bullshit, full of crap, and it has nothing to do. At the best, they will bring about 2 to 3 companies, and trust me, there is no guarantee. It does not matter. Even if you perform good, you probably might not get selected, because there is a lot of things that are going in the interview panel which obviously you are not aware of. Just to give you a glimpse, HR are also people. They are also employed by company, right? And they also have some defined targets. They have to perform so and so actions. One of them is taking interviews of people. So what they will do in their appraisal cycle, they have to show, right, they have done something. So they will have at least 10-20 interviews done, and basically that is what they put in the company appraisal cycle as an employee themselves. So now you get the picture, right? So your knowledge has nothing really to do with your selection. So don't get it in your heart. You have to think from your brain. Do not take it too personally, and do not let your ego be hurt just because you were not selected, even though you thought you performed well. So because it has nothing really to do with it. Sometimes it could be like the team guy who's probably hiring just wants to hire a girl because he was bored. See, really, in a big project, ideally, probably you might have gotten a recent example from Twitter, now called X, right? Elon Musk fired almost all the workforce. Now the same work is being done and effectively without any issues with a very reduced number of people. Why? Because that is what it takes to do. The rest of the thing is just the propaganda. If you are into services business, you just have to make headcounts and then you charge for 100 people, but in reality only 10 are working. And these are the 90 people who get laid off in these kind of situations. So this is the clear picture. Now, a lot of people in the market these days are trying to run their shops by selling DSA design and all those questions. These are important skill, I agree, but they are trying to do some overkill out here. More than your for loop, while loop writing skills, company needs a dependable person. I can teach a monkey to write a for and while loop in 1 month, but can I trust him to do something? I cannot, right? That is where the real problem comes, because you are not taught these basic things. I mean, soft skills are underrated. Communication is important, but English is not important, because when you go in a team, people usually find a common language. It doesn't really have to be English. Even if it is English, it does not matter if you speak broken English, because you are not a salesperson who is constantly facing the clients out there, right? And what does it matter if you connect with a Finnish guy or some German guy? They are not they are not going to speak proper English. They don't even type mails properly, because what you read in English, it's most likely grammatically incorrect. Are you going to blame them? No, right? So it does not really matter. Whoever is feeding the propaganda that you need proper English and blah blah blah, that's it all bullshit. Sometimes I sometimes I use Japanese straight quotes from anime. Does that stop me from communicating with my team? No, because as long as the other guy is able to understand what you want to convey, that's all that matters, and that is what communication is. What you guys should focus on is there should be one technology that you must ace, that is C++. That is mother of your programming languages. If you do that, and if you are clear writing, so do you remember in the first semester you guys must have studied about writing algorithms and flow diagrams? If you are able to do that to any problem, then you can sail through at least 10 years of your life up to the architect level position with ease. That's all. Because the real skill is, are you able to break down a big problem into series of steps one by one? That is what writing algorithm is, right? With ease or not, with sense of scalability, in terms of a good solution, basically. And basically good solution is also subjective in matter. It depends on use cases, and it can also differ from project to project, so I'm not going to deep dive into it. As long as you are able to write those down, those steps, and able to draw it out in a flowchart, that is all that is needed. If you are able to do that, then that means you have understood the problem right. And if you have understood something, then trust me, there is no stopping you, right, from doing it. If I tell you have to buy a milk packet and you have to write down the steps, what are you going to do? You'll So basically the first question should come: how much milk do you want? What kind of milk do you want? Is it buffalo or cow? And how much quantity you want? So this is basically requirement gathering. Second, how much money are you going to you are thinking it may take? That's called estimation, effort estimation, basically, right? So you, let's say, okay, you want to buy 1 liter and you think, okay, I have a rough idea, maybe it may cost 30-40, so you will say 50 rupees. That's also part of estimation. So if I think there is 8 hours of work, I will put it as 12 hours of work. Why? Because I have to keep 4 hours buffer just in case something comes up in the testing feedback. I can probably miss something, right? Some edge case and all. The same you do with the milk packet, right? If it costs around 30-40, you take 50 rupees just to be on the safer side. Then you go to the market, okay, you tell the shopkeeper, I want this milk. You pay the money, collect the money, come back home. So you have basically broken down a simple statement that you need to buy milk into a series of 6 or 7 steps, right? And this exactly is what is required for a software problem as well. If you are able to do this, you have already solved 50-60% of the things, because now you are clear exactly what needs to be done. And then that is where each of the step, either you do it yourself or you distribute among with your team, and all of them collectively can work together to finish one software problem. And there is nothing more to it. All these people who are trying to complicate things are morons. They are just trying to sell their course or trying to build $1 million company out of it. I can personally guarantee it to you that it is not complicated. Even a layman can do. I myself might not be a very good teacher, but I can tell you, just trust yourself, follow these 2 things. Like, you try to slow down your brain. So what happens is, like in the milk problem, I tried to specifically slow down your brain to think forcefully, to break down it into steps. When your brain sees this kind of problem, it automatically works in a subconscious mode, so you are not really aware what you are doing. And when a big problem comes, that is what, either you will be able to solve or no solve, right? It becomes binary. The reason being, if you have attempted a similar solution before, then it's a yes, otherwise it's a no. But this is bullshit for a software engineer, because you're not going to get always the problems which you have already solved. What kind of logic is that you solve 1000 DSA problems? Are you really that dumb that you need to solve 1000 questions only so that one of the 1000 can you will find in real life, and that is what you solve? Is it what you want to become? No, right? You should be aspiring to become someone who can solve any problem that comes their way, right? So doing 1000 problems is one thing. I'm not against it, but just believing that if I do 1000 problems, my life will sail easier, that is a bullshit statement. So you guys have to be wary of it, okay? Again, the friendly reminder: focus on 2 things: breaking down the bigger problem into steps, basically writing the algorithms, and drawing a flow diagram out of it. If you are able to do these 2 things, then your life is going to sail very smoothly, and there is no doubt about it. And I'm not saying just smoothly for 1-2 years. The software engineer, senior software engineer, and up to architect level, you are going to sail very easily. And after that, anyways, it's non-tech and managerial, purely managerial basis, so out of question. Okay, so best wishes to all the aspiring software engineers. By the way, I have been working in the industry for 6 years. I may not be very good at teaching or any such thing, but if you guys want to ask me anything, you can really put in comments, and I have a feeling I might be really able to help you. With that said, good luck. Hasta la, bye bye.